there, thanks for joining Elnaz 360. Today I want to do a set of sequences which are helping to lengthening the upper body as well as a little bit of work on the groin and the leg muscles. So thanks for joining. So set up your mat and come and sit on your mat. So you can sit on as a crossed leg, or if you want you can also sit in a hero pose, which you can see me from the side. So I'm sitting on my shins and the feet are point. The big toes are touching each other. And I'm bringing the knees together. Whichever is more comfortable for you, because at this point we don't want to have our attention on our legs. So close your eyes. As usual, at the beginning of every class, let's bring your attention to your breath, to your body. Just feel your belly breath. With every inhale, your navel is coming out. With every exhale, the navel is going in. Again, inhale and exhale. And this is a great place to set up an intention for your practice. You can either do the practice for something or either dedicate your practice to something. And at the same time, we are cultivating our breath. Let's take another deep breath. And when you're ready, just open your eyes. Then reach both arms all the way toward the ceiling. Let's give that little external rotation to the arms, so the inner arms or the biceps are turning toward the back of the room, and the triceps, the outer arms, are turning toward the front. That gives more length around your neck. So just breathe in and breathe out. And then very gently with your right hand, you're going to grab your left wrist and lean yourself to the right side. Let's give a stretch to the left side of the body. And then come back to the center. Now reverse and lean to your left side. Take another deep breath. Very gently come back to the center. Let's interlace your fingers once behind your tailbone. Straighten the arms, open the chest to the front. Collarbones wide. Take a breath and exhale. Now we're going to add a little bit of breathing to our practice. So this is a very simple breathing, but it has a great effect, especially on the upper body and the whole brain area. So you can see me from the side, as well as we are massaging the spine through this practice. So let's open the chest to the back, take a breath, and with exhale, you're coiling your back all the way. One more time, inhale, open the chest to the back, and exhale. One more time, inhale, and exhale, coiling the back. The chin is coming to the chest. Inhale, open the chest. And exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. The last one. Inhale. And exhale. And then very gently, from this pose, you're going to come on your hands and knees, coming to tabletop. And then very gently, we're going to do another few sets of cat-cow. So you're opening the chest to the front and taking a breath. This is cow. Exhale back all the way to cat, coiling the back. One more time, inhale, cow, and exhale. Again, inhale, and exhale. Again, inhale, and exhale. And now you're gonna lift your right leg to the hip height. Make sure that the toes are directly to the floor. So you're giving a little bit of internal rotation to the thigh. So if the toes are directly to the outside, you want to correct it and bring it all the way, straighten it as we have the hips squared to the floor. And then lift your left arm to the same height. Breathe in and breathe out. One more deep breath. Then very gently you're going to lower your hand and lower your knee. Let's do it to the left side. Same thing. Lift your left leg. Make sure that the toes are directly to the floor. And lift your right arm. Stay here, pulling the belly in. Breathe in and breathe out. One more last breath. And then very gently lower your hand and your knee. And then from here, you're going to coil your toes under and push the hips and the thighs to the back of the room, coming to downward facing dog. Start to pedal your feet one at a time. Let's give a little stretch to the back of the legs. At the same time, be aware of your breath. Breathe in and breathe out. We are softening the hamstrings, especially if this is the first down dog of the day. Breathe in and breathe out. And when you're ready, just come to the stillness. Stay still just for a moment. Try to elongate the upper body by keeping your arms engaged, pressing the palms to the floor. It's okay to have a micro bend in the knees. One last breath. Then very gently start to walk your hands toward your feet. When you get to the feet, just pause and release the head and the neck. This is called Uttanasana. Imagine you are a waterfall and the water is all falling off of your body. Stay here for another deep breath. Imagine that you're rooting down through the feet like a tree. And then very gently you're going to push to the feet and come all the way up to the standing position, back to the mountain pose. So come back to the top of your mat. Make sure the feet are parallel to each other. Let's take a breath. Reach both arms all the way toward the ceiling. Gaze up, touch palms. With exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Back to the mountain pose. One more time. Let's take a breath. Reach both arms all the way toward the ceiling. Gaze up, touch palms. With exhale, folding forward, coming all the way down to your Uttanasana. Release the head and the neck. Let's take a breath. Lift your chest halfway. Put your hands on the shins. You're gazing at the top of your mat. And you're preferably making your back flat. This is called Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale back to Uttanasana. And then very gently bend your knees. Place your hands on the floor next to the feet. And step back one at a time to the plank position. So while you're in plank, I just want to bring your attention to the accuracy of this pose, you want to keep your hip to the same level as your head. You don't want to dump your lower body. So pull the hip back, keep your core strong, and then very gently you're shifting a little bit forward, coming all the way down on your mat, on your belly. Put your forehead on the floor. Let's interlace your fingers behind your tailbone. Straighten the arms, open the chest, lift your head, coming to a variation of Shalabhasana. And then very gently lower yourself. Let's do this one more time. Let's take a breath. Straighten the arms, lift your chest, lift your legs this time as well. And when you're here, just breathe in and out normally. Very gently lower yourself. Now place your hands next to your rib cage. The elbows are hugging the torso. We're going to do one cobra pose or bhujangasana. Let's take a breath. Only lift the chest. So the feet are point and are on the floor. And exhale, coming back down. Now coil your toes under. We're going to push back, coming all the way to the plank position. And from here, push your hips and thighs back to downward facing dog. Stay here for 3 deep breaths. Take a deep breath, open your mouth, side out. One more time. And then when you're ready, very gently lift your left leg to the hip height. Bend your knee, hug your knee into your chest and shift forward to the plank. Step your foot between your hands. Pin the back heel down. You're coming up all the way to warrior two. So bending the front knee, opening the chest, one to the front and one to the back. And gaze to the front. Energetically activate your arms. Imagine there is a light, straight light passing from your front arm all the way to the back. So the hip is square to the side. It's not, square. It's actually facing the side and a little bit of the corner. And stay here for another deep breath. Now we're going to do a sequence together. So let's reach both arms to the ceiling. At the same time, straighten the legs, the front leg. And then so you're inhaling here. With the exhale, you're hinging from the hip, coming to Ardha Trikonasana. This looks like a triangle pose, but you're not bringing the left arm down. So your arms are parallel. And again, inhale back to the center. Exhale, you're going to sit back to warrior two. One more time, let's take a breath. Reach both arms all the way up. Straighten the front leg. Exhale, hinging from the hip. Coming to the side, leaning to the side. And then inhale back to the center. Exhale to warrior two. One more time. Reach both arms up. Exhale, coming to Ardha Trikonasana. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, sit back to warrior two. Inhale, go all the way up. Exhale, back to Ardha Trikonasana. Inhale, back to the center. And exhale, sit to warrior two. And from here, let's go to the side angle pose. Just put your left elbow on your left quad as you're extending the right arm all the way toward the ceiling. So make sure that you are not dumping yourself on the left shoulder. So keep your body strong. Hug your left glute underneath your body. That's a very subtle movement. And now when you're ready, extend your upper arm alongside of your ear. Stay here for another 2 deep breaths. At the same time, there is a little feeling of trying to opening the right rib cage toward the ceiling. Just see if you can do it. And you can either gaze to the center or to the ceiling, whichever you feel more comfortable. And then very gently come back all the way up. And then from here, let's take one reverse warrior. Lean backward so your knee is still bent. So stretching the front of the body all the way. Take a breath. Exhale back to warrior two. Windmill, both hands on the floor. Coming to runner's lunge. So keep your back heel is coming off the floor. Keep your right hand on the floor, twist to the left, extend the left arm all the way toward the ceiling. So this is one of the twists. Stay here, keep your back leg engaged. So as a variation of this pose, you have the choice of putting the back knee down if you feel to. So whichever you're more comfortable. Staying for another deep breath. Very gently lower your hand, and you're going to push back to the plank position. Now we're going to do an up dog transition to down dog. So from the plank position, we're going to come halfway down chaturanga. So you can see that my elbows are they're bent. And now point your toes, open the chest to the front, take a breath. And with the exhale, you're curling your toes again. Push the hips and the thighs back to downward facing dog. Stay here for 3 deep breaths. And at the end of the 3rd breath, now you're going to lift your right leg to the hip height. Bend your knee, shift forward, step between your hands, pin the back heel down, and you're going to come all the way up to warrior two. So for me, in order to see you better, I'm just going to change my location. Again, open your right arm to the front, the left arm to the back, collarbones wide. Activate your arms. Activate your fingers. Imagine there's this line of light passing through you all the way to the back. And we're going to do the same set of sequences that we did on the other side. Let's take a breath. Reach both arms up. Straighten the front leg. Exhale, hinging from the hip. Coming to Ardha Trikonasana, as you can see. So I'm bending from the hip. And then inhale back to the center. Exhale, bend your knee, coming to warrior two. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, hinging from the hip. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, you're going to sit back to warrior two. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, hinging from the hip. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, back to warrior two. So we do 5 times on each round, or each side. Reach both arms to the ceiling. Straighten the leg. Exhale, coming to Ardha Trikonasana. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, back to warrior two. The last round. Inhale, go up. Exhale, Ardha Trikonasana. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, back to warrior two. And now from here, bend your right elbow, place it on your right quadricep, and reach the left arm toward the ceiling, coming to side angle pose or Parshvakonasana. Again, make sure that you're keeping your body intact, strong, you're not dumping yourself. And now place the upper arm alongside of your ear. See if you can open the left side of your chest toward the ceiling. There's a very minute revolve. 1, More deep breath. And then very gently, you're going to push to the front leg, come all the way up, back to warrior two. Let's take a breath. Reach, lean backward, coming to reverse warrior. Take a breath. Exhale back to warrior two. And then from here, you're going to windmill both hands on the floor. As you can see, my back heel is coming off. Keep your left hand on the floor and twist to the right. Extend your right arm toward the ceiling. Again, I just remind you that you have a choice of variation of putting your back knee down and pointing your toe. So whichever you feel more comfortable. Staying here for another breath. And then very gently lower your hand, and you're going to push the front leg back to the plank position. Let's do one last up dog and transition to the down dog. Again, halfway coming down, chaturanga. Point your toes, open the chest to the front, take a breath. And exhale, coil your toes under. Push the hips and the thighs to the back of the room, coming to downward facing dog. Stay here for 2 to 3 breaths. And when you're ready, just put the knees down. Back to the tabletop. Open the knees wider than your hips. Gently sit back all the way to the child pose and extend your arms to the front of the room. Put your forehead on the floor. And just feel the sensation, the movements around your groins, your hips. And be aware of your breath. And then very gently come back to the seated position. Let's sit on your mat, reach both legs to the front. Let's do one Dandasana together. So flex both feet, reach both arms toward the ceiling. And with the exhale, you're folding forward. You can either grab your ankles, your shins, or even the toes, whichever you get. And it's completely fine to have a little bit of bend if needed in your knees, especially for the ones who have a little bit of tighter hamstring. I recommend to have a little bit of bend in the knees. So stay here, breathe in and breathe out. And then very gently come back up. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana. Giving the stretch on the inner side of the thighs. Let's lengthen the body first. Take a breath, and with the exhale, you're leaning forward, walking your hands a little bit to the front. And stay here for another 2 to 3 breaths. Let's give the time for the stretch to reflect in our body. And then very gently walk yourself back. Just sit comfortably on your mat and close your eyes. You have done the hard work. Bring your hands to your heart like a prayer position. Let's be grateful for the practice we did together. Let's be grateful for taking care of ourselves, for paying attention to ourselves. And check in with yourself and see how you're feeling right now compared to the beginning of the session. Just ask yourself,